we've got some serious price changes coming for small arms in 4.0. I personally think that this is great, and I'm looking forward to it. So in this video, we are going to go over everything in the chart and arm you with the best information that you're going to need to make the right economic decisions for your small arms in 4.0. First off, we've got the general list of every single price change happening in 4.0. And we were not talking 10% or 20% here and there. Oh no, we're talking over 6,000% increases in cost for weapons across the board. The days of you running around with a backpack full of ammo and not worrying about ammunition in any way, shape, or form are now over. Take a gander at this chart. I'm not going to elaborate on this section too much because you can just pause the video and watch this and see for yourself. I'd like to briefly mention that there were no changes to the special weapons category. That includes the Animus missile launcher, Skirl's railgun, and GP-33 grenade launcher. These things had their prices changed about a patch or two ago, so nothing's changed here. They're still pretty expensive. But in case you did not know, these are the prices. For some reason, the WoW Blast Desperado toy pistol was not spared, and it has also had its ammunition prices increased. So now when you're running around being annoying in Everest Harbor and shooting people, you're going to be paying for it. But I'm sure that will not stop you. In this category, we have the top 5 most expensive per shot weapons. At number 1, we have the Dead Rig Shotgun. This is a very powerful weapon in close combat. It could usually 2-shot and occasionally 1-shot somebody at optimal ranges. This is not very likely to be seen in the PU, but in Star Marine, it happens pretty frequently. As you can see here, the damage of the weapon is reflective in the price per round, and as a theme here for this entire top 5. Next up, we have the ASCAV sniper rifle. As you can probably guess, due to its damage, its ammo is also pretty expensive. At number 3, we have the P6LR. Same thing, high alpha, high damage per shot. Number 4, we got the Scalpel. And number 5, we have the Devastator. What's interesting about this section is it appears to be that they're trying to balance damage with cost. And that usually doesn't work. I'm not saying that it can't work here, but in my experience, people will often just use the price of something like the ammo or a weapon or whatever it may be to try and justify the OP nature of something or the overperforming nature of something. I'm not saying anything in this list is overpowered or anything like that. Not at all. But you're going to often hear that argument in any game. You're going to especially start to hear that in Star Citizen when and if things start to overperform. They're going to always fall back and go, oh, well, the cost. Okay, well then what about the cost of, say, the armor and the meds, the XYZ? It's a mess, and it's always a mess. But that's not the topic of this video. Maybe another one. So, let's now move on to the top 5 cheapest per shot weapons. And I'll give you my opinion on that. At number 1, we have the Demeco LMG. Pretty shocked to see this. This is a very effective weapon. Very good. I would say this is one of the better PvP LMGs in the game, especially at medium to close range. Very happy to see that it does not cost too much to run. These are also very common in bunkers. You get them off of NPCs all the time. Number 2, we've got the Custodian SMG. Again, another fairly common weapon. You can buy this at stores. You can find it off of NPC pirates and bunkers quite often. So restocking it and finding it, it's not going to be that difficult. At number 3, we have the F55 LMG. This thing is not very good. I'm glad it doesn't cost too much per round, given that it has an insane rate of fire and a high magazine capacity. But I've never really seen this thing to be too terribly useful. Not in Star Marine, and definitely not in the PU. But that might change over time. But it's interesting to see it here as the cheapest per shot on the list. At number 4, we have the former king of submachine guns, the C54 SMG. Much like the Custodian, this is very common on NPCs. You can buy it in stores. Even after the nerfs to the weapon, it is still a very good submachine gun. It is just not nearly as oppressive as it once was. But keep in mind, it does have a high rate of fire, and that cost per round, while low, is not the lowest. So you're going to be chewing through ammo pretty quick with that thing. And at number 5, we have the gold standard, the P4AR. This is, in my opinion, the weapon in which all other weapons are measured against. It is versatile, it is common, ammo is everywhere, it could do a little bit of everything. It's the M16 of the Star Citizen universe. And this weapon is also very good. It's at number 5. I think that this will probably be the most common go-to weapon for players in general for FPS combat, just based on versatility and availability alone. And now finally we have the alpha damage cost comparison chart. This is not a chart that's a tier list or what you should or should not use. This is merely information, but I want to explain it real quick and you decide what you like for yourself. Let's look at what we have at number 1 here, which is the P8AR. At the far left, you see alpha damage. This is the amount of damage per shot it has. Magazine size is exactly that, the magazine size. Then we have the magazine price. And then we have the total damage per magazine. Now where it gets interesting is you have the AUEC per shot cost. And then we break it down even further to the AUEC cost per point of damage, meaning the P8 here is only going to cost you 20 cents per point of damage. Whereas on the most extreme scale down at the bottom, the Scourge Railgun is going to cost you 43 AUEC per point of damage. So this chart is, again, it's pure information, and if you just want the most value, it would be the P8AR, because you're spending the least for the most. It's just min-maxing. It's good information. You decide on your own. So, that's the end of the video. Thank you for watching. As always, please join our Discord. We'd love to have you. We talk about things all the time. I'll hit you up in a comment section. I hope this was helpful for you guys, and thank you for watching.